About a year ago, I got really serious about trying to track down a car that I've been chasing for years prior, but never really had any good leads on, and no one knew where this car was for the last 14 years. 2011 was the last time anyone had seen this 1998 Lamborghini Diablo SV that had been sold brand new out of the Victoria's Secret Christmas Dreams and Fantasies catalog in the Christmas of 1998. And it was really interesting because they'd made some special modifications and touches to make the car one of one, very distinct, and they had sold it for $350,000, making it the most expensive Lamborghini ever sold up until that point. And I always was really fascinated by the car. I was a very impressionable age when the car was new, and I told the whole backstory about the car in a previous video, but I got to the point where I had found Tim Fabrizio, and he had come here to tell different stories about cars that he'd found at barn finds and stuff, and he asked me, he said, is there anything you're looking for? And the first thought was the Victoria's Secret Diablo SV, and so he went out and really didn't find anything for about a month, but then he came to me with a social media post that he'd been able to dig up from 2011, right after a Mecum auction that kind of indicated the family name and the town where the car might be. Now that's all he had to go on, but he went out searching and he found where the town was and who this person might be, and saw that they had a lot of cars registered, but not this particular car. And he said, look, I want to go out there, knock on the door, and see if they happen to have this Lamborghini, and hopefully if they're interested in selling it. And so he went there and left a bouquet of flowers and a box of chocolates in front of the door with a note that says, you may have a car that we're looking for, please give me a call. So he starts wandering around the town, talking to the locals. No one has any idea that there's any sort of a car collection, certainly not a Lamborghini, in this small town in central Illinois. And he even goes so far as to ask some people about the specific name of the person we think might own the car. And they indicated that they might be associated with a different kind of angels, not the Victoria's Secret angels, of the motorcycle enthusiast variety. And so a difficult party perhaps to negotiate with, but he was not deterred, just sat there looking at his phone, waiting on someone to call. But later that evening, they did, and they acknowledged that they had the car and said that he was welcome to come and look at it, and they gave him a preposterous price of what they might want, which indicated that they knew what it was. It wasn't just living its life as a normal Diablo SV that hadn't been on the road in almost 15 years at that point. And so he said, look, I'll be there in the morning, like 9 a.m., and I'm going to look at the car. And so he calls me and tells me that. And the price that they quoted was really just like a get off my lawn price. I'm like, look, we know it doesn't matter yet. Just go there, send me pictures, let me know what the car looks like, and we can come up with a number to try to buy it. We want it. We're not bidding against anybody, given the circumstances and the fact that it was this hard for us to even figure out who it was. And so he shows up the next morning, and I just start to get picture after picture. And the car has been on a lift since 2011 in an airplane hangar that they own. They had never registered it. It was still on a salvage title that had been issued in 2006 in the state of Colorado after someone else had crashed it. The insurance had titled it, and it had gone through several dealers, including the Classy Chassis in Indiana, a Rob Pitts reference there. I found out that Roy Katz had actually had the car and might have skipped his assignment on it, but the title was full, and the fact that it had never been processed was why we didn't have any ideas based on Carfax or AutoCheck where the car might be. And so he keeps sending me all these things. The car's very much apart. The wing's off, the bumper's off, the wheels are off. They said they were sending them off to be re-chromed or something like that. And it is far, far from running, but seems reasonably complete. Now, they didn't have a great narrative as to why they didn't drive the car. And based on the auction listing at Mecum, it had only gone maybe 2 miles since the car had sold. And so an odd circumstance, and you never want to have a car where you don't exactly know why it was parked, but certainly there was going to be some big reason, but I still wanted the car. And the good thing about Diablos is, as they've kind of gone up in value, there's more room for more things to go wrong. And so this was not going to be a circumstance where I could bring Cameron or another mechanic in there to check the car out to make sure that it's okay. I was going to have to buy the car blind. Now, I've talked about the fact that when you make a car deal, there's the money, there's the paperwork, and there's the car, and nobody gets to have all three. That's problematic because the car is stuck on a lift, the title can't be processed very easily, and they want their money. And so the only way that I could make a deal with any confidence was to get the car removed as soon as possible, as soon as I was going to wire the money. So I needed Tim to stand there talking to them, waiting on me to wire the money after we came to an agreement. Now, I'm not going to say exactly what I paid for this car yet. I probably will at some point in the future when its ultimate fate is decided. And right now, that is I want to still have it. But the way it went was they talked about a very high number. I talked about a very low number, and we met right smack dab in the middle at $10,000 over my original offer. And so I moved a little bit, made them happy, and Tim did an exceptional job of shrewd negotiating on my behalf. But the problem was, it's in the middle of Illinois. I can't get a tow truck there that's ready to take a Diablo that doesn't even have the wheels on it. So Tim literally starts putting the wheels, the wing, everything that he can find, shoving it all in the car, getting the car where it can roll, pushing it outside. I made it very clear, do not try to start this car. We're going to get all the fluids out before we do anything and things like that. And so he does all of this as I'm wiring the money to some small bank's account in the middle of nowhere. And fortunately, because the car was in central Illinois, it was only an hour and a half south of Arnie Toman's shop, Cannonball Garage. And so I called Arnie and said, hey, is there any chance that you or Stan, your guy, could go down and pick up a car for me in the middle of Illinois, like kind of right now? And he's like, really? I mean, and, you know, he understood immediately, like, I wouldn't ask him if it wasn't my only real option. And he said, yeah, I got to get through the work day. I'll get down there about 7 o'clock tonight. And I asked him, do you mind waiting until 7 o'clock? And he said yes. And so I'm just like, I have no idea, like, am I getting scammed by everybody, or is this actually going to work? And have I finally found the elusive and long missing Victoria's Secret Diablo SV? So more pictures start to trickle in, and we work out a strategy on what we're going to do with the title to eventually get it reprocessed and into my name, because it's tough because you can't always reassign as a private individual a salvage title, and there's no more room for reassignments, and Illinois doesn't allow additional ones. But Arnie had some good connections to help us out with that. And so not too long after that, they showed up. Tim had the car outside ready to go. He'd written the Barn Find King in the dust on the windshield, and the whole car was covered in dust, but honestly, it wasn't bad. And you could tell that the front had been repainted poorly and it was going to need to be redone. But at the end of the day, it was a decent car, at least in the pictures. Now, I bought a lot of cars that looked decent in pictures that were very far from it, so I had no idea what I was really in for, but I knew I had some room to fix some things and probably still be okay value-wise. And so Arnie and Stan went, picked up the car, and a few days later, Stan showed up at Cameron's shop, DC Motor Works, to unload it. New Lambo day!
Not new.
That's exactly right. They're very old.
Yeah, it's the same year as yours, right?
It's a year newer. They didn't have 97s in the U.S.
Oh, that's right. Ready?
Oh, look at that! It's here! Man, it's quite disassembled, isn't it?
They had the brakes off, he said.
It's quite dirty. Mine doesn't have the rear grille. Oh, that's wonderful. The airbags falling out of the passenger side?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh my goodness.
Some Superman Diablo.
Holy cow. So we're here at DC Motor Works unloading my brand new but very old and very neglected 1998 Lamborghini Diablo SV VS for Victoria's Secret, sold out of the 1998 Victoria's Secret Christmas Dreams and Fantasies catalog. This was surrounded by the Victoria's Secret Angel models and looking a whole lot better back then. It had actually a chrome VS sticker, kind of reoriented. Of course, there's no like body lines or anything that you follow, so we're gonna have to figure out how to reinstall that, but I've already got a set of those stickers in more modern chrome vinyl on order. But this is my first time seeing it in person. Now, the car had been sitting for 14 years since the previous owner, a different kind of angels of the motorcycle enthusiast variety, they had bought this car and said that they were in the process of re-chroming the wheels, redoing some things on the interior, and who knows? I mean, generally people don't park running cars for no reason and start taking them apart. So my guess is that Cameron may find many things wrong, but the next thing to do is get it off the trailer. Ta-da! Look at that, Tyra Banks. Other people. Angel wings. It doesn't look pearl in the picture at all, but I mean, maybe it's the dust. but $350,000. At the time, the base MSRP of a Diablo SV was probably only $229, a Roadster maybe $280. So I believe this was the most expensive car that Lamborghini had ever sold in North America at that point. I had been told that my car's seats were from a Roadster, and that might have made them like thinner, but I don't think you could get any thinner there. I mean, it's an inch off the ground.
They're pretty light, too.
Let's take him for a test drive, Cameron.
Which one's with? It's actually pretty good.
Not bad. I mean,
Was it? Big old cloud of dust when I sat down. Well, it has reclined too.
the headrest is in the ideal position. How short would your torso have to be for this to fit?
It took blood already.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah,
Yep, that's the one that got me.
That's the one.
Yep. We now share that fitness. Fender liners and such. Oh, there's an amp. Oh, because it's they did a lot of Alpine stuff.
That makes sense. I thought you said this wasn't gonna need much.
Yeah. Whoever painted that needs to have the brushes taken away. Yeah, don't worry. Just
We'll push it and then someone just steer inside.
okay. Beautiful. That was the real noise of those shocks. To
Couple
spec.
things.
Does brake pedal operate? Anything? Do you think? Cameron, listen to this.
Couple things.
At least it didn't chop your head off.
Man, this is how they should come though. The no seat.
We'll just get you a couple pillows and.
I don't even need the pillows.
So you can start rolling here in a sec. So just modulated it. There you go.
Park and brake does work.
Oh. Maybe put it back on.
Did it go straight to the floor?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep. We're gonna have to find another SV mirror.
Create one again.
Yep.
Do we hit it?
I think
We hit it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
it hit the cable. I think.
No, it got the side of the trailer.
Oh, okay. It's out.
It's out.
It
That
is.
was
It
not
is
dramatic.
pearlescent and pretty.
I think it did spring right back.
It did. It went
Yeah.
right back.
It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, that one.
Just the glass.
That's
The
a big
glass
deal,
and
right?
paintwork, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the color match is better than I thought it was going to be.
It's good. Hope the camera picked it up.
I'm sure. Yes.
What else do we have?
Drops
That
it
one.
immediately.
Man,
It ain't bad, dude. It's a car. So in 2006, this car was crashed in Colorado, and my searching with the first private investigator led me to the guy who was the person who crashed it. Now, one of the things that I've struggled with my orange car that was originally red and then at some point green is actually figuring out the lines on these black inserts in the front. And so this one is actually supposed to dip down to just here in the center, so this part should still be white. So obviously that was going to have to be repainted anyway, but when we do it next time, we're going to get it right. About that. Honestly, it's all there. I mean, there's an additional cover that goes over here and attaches right there, but I can find another one of those, or I know where I can steal one. And we've got a CVX racing muffler. It was advertised as having a sport exhaust of some sort. I don't know that that's necessarily it. We do have the proper heat shielding and everything else, but look, the carbon's in good shape. I've got the missing pieces now upstairs. This thing's awesome. So there are various Diablos that have roof scoops, which would give a ram air effect and a little bit more horsepower at speed. And today the SV is now the cheapest. That was not always the case, but you've got an SE30 with the ultra rare Yoda package, gets the vented deck lid. You also have, of course, the GT and the race cars, but the SV has the dual roof scoops that you'd now pay $80,000 to MSO on your new McLaren for. But man, this thing is not bad. It looks like a fairly low mile car that's just been sitting for a little over a decade.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Clutch in. First drive. Vroom vroom. Din 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 din.
Keep holding right.
Watch that door.
Straighten up. Little right. Watch the mirrors. Straighten up. Hold it there.
How's that door?
All right, you good?
Yep.
Holy cow.
Guessing the bomb note.
What just happened?
We just cracked the bumper in half.
Like in half?
No, we like put a hole in it.
Where'd it catch?
Right. This sticks up that high.
Oh, it's that.
This has been a.
Over it at least.
We're gonna paint it anyway. We know what we're doing. Get some good perspiration shot right there. It's happening.
The sweat.
That's the lubrication. That's good.
Just wood. It's a good thing. Don't break my wood.
Oh, that's the light wire.
Okay.
Stop. Just want to leave it there and mitigate any other.
That's good enough. I want to grab a side. Sorry.
That burrito.
Yeah, we've uncovered one spot of previous repair.
Or 3. You can't make this up.
Yeah. Reality television. All right, well, tell me when she runs. Oh, things. Owner's manual? You know how long it's been since I got a car with an owner's manual? Like, I don't even remember the last time I got an owner's manual with a car. Shop manual? Dude. Yeah, things. Fuse diagram. Turnkey. Well, we have gotten it here to DC Motor Works. A little worse for wear, but no worse than it's ever been in its life. And now it is time to probably just change the oil and then it's gonna run if I could guess. But Cameron and the team are on it and we'll be back soon to see how bad it is. If you get a ticket, the first thing you should do is text a picture of it to 305-305. That will get the ticket clinic on your case immediately. You'll be facing costly fines, risks of suspension, possible jail time, points on your license, higher insurance premiums, and a lot of bad things that they can help you to avoid. You can also find them at the link in the description below, but the Ticket Clinic is a nationwide law firm with brick and mortar offices in Georgia, Florida, and California, but they've got attorneys everywhere, and that's what's most important because a local local attorney will know exactly how the local laws work, know the people who are in charge, and get you the best outcome possible. So text a picture of your ticket to 305-305 or click the link in the description below to fight your ticket with the Ticket Clinic.